We're back again with a little NFL football. We are already into week 3.
Heading into week 3.
Yeah, we are heading into week 2. But today we're going to do a little recap
Of week 2.
of week 2 first, and then we will jump into our picks for week 3. It's just now getting nice and juicy, and it's just getting really good. We're finding out who's good and who's bad. And sadly to say,
we'll
We'll go ahead and start out with our discussion of week 2. My boys, poor Panthers,
bad.
are having a hard time. They're having a hard time right now. Cam is injured. They lost to Tampa Bay at home.
At home. That's a team you should have
picked
beat.
that. I would have never have picked that. And
But they could not punch it in the end zone.
Cam looks injured. He was throwing over people, short of people.
Their defense tried their best to keep him in the football
They've
game.
got a pretty good defense, but Cam's just injured right now, and his foot's hurt again right now.
I have to ask, 4th and 1 from the 2-yard line. You want a fake jet sweep to Christian McCaffrey?
I don't know, but anyways, 20-14, Carolina's in trouble. Jumping on into Sunday, we had San Fran at Cincinnati. San Fran may be a sleeper team here. 41 That's right. 41-17. 41 points. That's a spanking. That's a college football score right there. That's a spanking.
Cincinnati may not have been what we thought they were last week.
No, maybe Cincinnati is what we thought they were before that. They're Cincinnati.
Well, San Francisco's got a really interesting team going forward.
Mm-hmm.
They're off to their best start since 2012.
Well, they could be a little bit of a speed bump for some people. Thirdly, we had the L.A. Chargers at Detroit. Man, Chargers almost got them, but Detroit snuck it out at the end.
And all it took was a game-ending interception in the end zone.
Yep, is that all it took? But it was a low scoring 13-10. Detroit got that.
It kind of looked like by the score to me that they might have needed Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
I don't know why he hasn't signed anywhere. Or do you think he'll just become Jadeveon Clowney Part 2?
Yeah, he's probably going to be Le'Veon Bell Part 2. Probably going to sit out the whole year and try to go out and find some place to play next year. But the trouble is, he's not got Le'Veon Bell's talent.
No.
So he's not going to
Not many teams are going
to jump in line to get him. No. Another shocker of the week. Again, it takes 3 or 4 weeks for you to get the feel of how the teams are really going to be. Indy, with the backup quarterback, went into Tennessee and beat Tennessee. That was not a pick either. We lost some picks last week.
Yep. Tennessee, the Titans still show that inconsistency they've had for a few years now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they look like the same old Titans. They look like barn burners against Cleveland, and against Indy, they came back down to earth against Indy. We have Buffalo at the Giants. You know, Buffalo looks...
The defense especially.
Well, Josh Allen has passed for 200 yards. 2 or 3 4 games in a row. Anyways, but it's the most since Jim Kelly.
Yeah, that's a Bill quarterback that can actually throw.
Josh Allen may be the best Bills quarterback since Jim Kelly.
To be honest, it's better than Tyrod Taylor, the one quarterback they've had for the past couple of years.
It's good to see Buffalo with a little juice back in them. They've been down for a while, so I'm actually happy.
But the Giants,
happy for Buffalo. The Giants.
Oh boy,
they benched Eli, even though it wasn't his fault, man. Eli hasn't looked bad this year. The rest of the team looks
terrible. So that's
they look like they got rid of all their best players. Oh, wait a minute, they did.
They did.
How can you get rid of all your best players? And
2 of which went to the Browns.
Yeah, how can you get rid of all your best players and then blame the rest of the players left over
on Eli? That's
But
crazy.
anyways, they benched Eli. We've probably saw Eli for the last time.
Let's pay our respects to Mr. Manning.
I think he's Hall of Fame worthy.
Hall of Fame, 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, 2-time Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
And may I remind you of the team that he beat twice in that Super Bowl.
Especially the 18-0
Patriots.
Excuse me, the 18-1 Patriots. Oh, I love to say that. But yeah,
Mr. Manning,
mad respects. Now the Giants have got a rookie starting again.
Daniel Jones,
who may be really good.
Who is from the Manning coaching tree.
Do you think he's going to fare any better than Eli did in that mess?
Well, no.
No, I think it would
have been better.
Might ruin him.
And that decision's not very good. At least to let him. I mean, 2 games is not enough time for him to learn.
I would have let Eli finish the season and then let him retire gracefully, and then Jones could have had a year of seeing just how rough it is to be an NFL quarterback.
Instead of just 2 games, that's not enough time.
No, so the Giants are going to have some problems. Right when you think the Dolphins might be the worst team in the NFL, up step the Giants. We had Seattle at Pittsburgh. And
Ben Roethlisberger's out for the season with an elbow injury.
Shockers. I mean, he's IR gone. I mean, gone for the entire year. So Pittsburgh went from probably a playoff team to
a draft team.
A draft pick team. Now.
That's insane to think about, because
that is
when
insane.
You think about the Steelers, you think of Super Bowl rings, you think of greatness.
They went up, got the Super Bowl, and then slowly went, and now they're back down to the other side of the hill. Every team goes through it. I mean, they build up, get great, then they go back down.
Now, who knows what Mason Rudolph will provide?
Except for the Dolphins, which is just a steady bottom of the barrel.
So who knows what Mason Rudolph will provide in Pittsburgh?
He's got some decent talents.
But Seattle is off to a 2-0 start.
Yeah, Seattle looks like they got. I think they got a new breath with Clowney coming in.
Oh yeah, they got a new breath.
I think the offense got a little breath with the defense getting a new player. That's weird, but the whole the team gets energized. He energized the team a little bit.
Jadeveon Clowney is one of the top linebackers in the NFL. So you add him there with Bobby Wagner in the middle with the defense. That leads to a lot of leadership and a lot of good opportunities for tackles.
Yeah. Right after that, we had my Cowboys.
Smoking the Redskins secondary.
Yeah, 31-21. But now my Cowboys finally look good. I mean...
after one lackluster quarter, they got it going.
Yeah, Kellen Moore, the Boise State quarterback, has come in as the offensive coordinator.
The offense.
And the offense looks good under him, man. Kellen Moore just might be something. And then but I mean, it's just clicking. Gallup did get hurt.
He's out for at least 2 weeks.
He's out for a couple. He's the meniscus in his knee. He's having that done, so he'll be out for at least a couple of weeks. But luckily, they've got Miami this coming week, so they're not going to need Gallup. But we'll get to that here in a minute. We had Jacksonville at Houston, and Houston snuck one out
by the chin of their chin.
Houston, they beat Jacksonville 13-12. Jacksonville scored a touchdown, could have kicked a field goal to tie it, decided to go for 2, stopped at the
half-yard line.
And actually, I think he got in. I just don't think
he got in.
I think he got in, but I don't think there was enough cameras to see it clearly. They couldn't overturn it. That's one thing that I found out this week. Well, I sort of knew it, but it was sort of put in your face. Games like that are lesser tier games don't have the same camera coverage as a highlighted game.
Why can't you do it equally for each game? Because
Jacksonville, he probably did get in the end zone, but because it was a game that wasn't watched that much, the network didn't invest in the same amount of cameras that it would if the Cowboys were playing the Patriots or something. It's not a marquee game, so it doesn't get marquee coverage. I think that's a bunch of crap. But, hey, what we're going to do, it's all about the money, honey. It's all about that money. Got to make as much money as you can.
Yeah, that pretty much sums up that whole camera problem.
Yeah, we got the juggernaut Kansas City at Oakland. Oakland tried to do something at the beginning.
They led 10-0,
10-0, and then 28 unanswered. Shut that up real quick.
So, but the Raiders... they look better than last year.
They definitely look better than last year.
I mean, if you hold the Chiefs to 0 points for a good solid for like a quarter and a half, maybe.
It took a little bit for the Chiefs coordinators to figure out what the scheme was, but once Mahomes figured that out, it was ding, 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 ding.
But the Chiefs' offense is as elite as it's been.
It is, yeah.
So, but don't
sleep
over Oakland.
I'm not going to put Oakland down, no, but just because they lost by 18 to Kansas City. A lot of people are going to lose to Kansas City by 18 this year, so we're not going to say that. After that, we had Chicago at Denver. That was a really competitive game.
A defense-oriented game, which is what you would have expected.
Yeah, Chicago won 16-14.
Do you know what's worrying about the Broncos' defense?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have Von Miller, one of the best defensive
He is
players.
one of the best ones. Yeah.
They have not forced a turnover yet.
That's because of the rest of the team's getting older, and
I don't think they even got a sack this year, so that's some concerns there.
And then Denver actually tried to kick a field goal at the end to win.
The Bears won with a long field goal.
That's right. The Bears won with a long, like a 51. Oh yeah. Now I remember what it was. The Denver went up with 50 seconds left.
Yep, they did.
Denver went up with 50 seconds
left. And
left.
Mitchell Trubisky, of all quarterbacks.
And they kicked the ball. They let him have 3 plays, and with 1 second left, he hit a 51-yard field goal. That's a heartbreaker, man.
They also the roughing the passer calls.
Oh, that was. We'll just mention the refs here at the
end of this.
At the end of this,
that would be fun.
One of the biggest, again, besides Big Ben. I mean, these are some good long-time quarterbacks. New Orleans. Brees is out at least 6 weeks.
Either a broken thumb or a torn ligament in his thumb.
Yeah, so he's out at least 6 weeks too. They lost to the Rams.
After that point, it was the Rams show. After
it was
that,
wrong. Yeah, the Rams are a good, solid team. They're not as strong offensively this year as they were last year, but they're still
They've got Sean McVay, who's looking to bounce back after a lackluster Super Bowl entirely, but as a performance in itself. But
yeah, so New Orleans is going to be struggling. They're gonna have to fight to make the playoffs now.
They're going to rely on the Teddy machine right now,
and the Camara machine,
and the Michael Thomas machine.
Yeah, the only thing that might be for New Orleans is if Brees is only out 6 weeks and he comes back towards the last third of the season, he can still get them into the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. Because it just depends on if he comes back with that same. So I'm not counting New Orleans out just because he's out for 6 weeks, but they're going to have to really work at it now. Because if you lose 6 games in a row, you've already lost 1. So you're 7, you're 9-7 if you win out, and you probably don't make the playoffs. So they're going to have to win some games. And then we had one of the comeback teams of the year, Minnesota at Green Bay. Green Bay
has a good defense.
Green Bay won 21-16. Green Bay is 2-0 in the division. You want to know how many division wins they had last year?
How many?
1.
1?
Yes. So Green Bay has already doubled their output on division wins. That means Green Bay is good, dude. I told you, I'm not picking against Aaron Rodgers unless there's a quarterback that can match up against him. Does Kirk Cousins match up against Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Then I'm not going to pick Kirk Cousins. So we had New England at the Miami School for Girls. Oh, sorry. It's Miami Dolphins. 43-. Squat! Nothing! That was bad. 43-0. That's a bad one, ain't it?
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
Miami is on a record to be one of the worst teams in a long time. He is 0-16-ish. They are 0-16-ish, ain't they? We had Arizona at Baltimore. Baltimore didn't look as explosive this week as they normally do, but they still pulled it off 23-17. So that puts Arizona at a 0-1-1.
So they should have lost last week.
Mm-hmm. If it went for the fourth quarter, they would have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then last but not least, that last game on Sunday, Philly at Atlanta. That was an exciting game. I thought Atlanta was going to pull out. Atlanta, they were up 17-3 or something in the third quarter. I thought they were going to pull on Atlanta and blow a late third quarter lead, but they pulled it out there at the end with Julio Jones being Julio Jones.
That was a good Julio Jones play there.
Fourth down, and he runs for 120 yards. So, yeah, Atlanta pulled that one out. So, Atlanta could be some problems. I mean, they got talent. And then Monday Night Football, the poor Jets, their quarterback's out with mono for a few months now.
Prayers for Sam Darnold.
Prayers for Sam Darnold, too. Prayers for all the quarterbacks I got hurt. So, the Jets, backup quarterback came in, and he got his ankle twisted. So, now the backup quarterback's out. So, the Jets are on the third string. So,
Allen.
Yeah, I really thought the Jets had something going this year, and then man, they've been sneaky.
They've been snake bit, but the Browns' offense doesn't look that great.
No, but
they did pull out the win.
They pulled out the win, 23-3.
Their defense has taken a step up.
Definitely. Well, that's it. That is our recap of
what about
week
the
2.
officiating
We'll
say?
do just a quick officiating. This is some of the worst officiating I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, after the blown call last fall, I thought, man, they're going to get it together and they'll get together. This has been horrid, dude. They could put monkeys out there in suits with whistles, and I think they could probably blow the whistle enough to probably hit about the same amount of right calls as the refs had so far. It's really, really bad. It makes the football hard to watch sometimes.
Sometimes, well,
it's just
officiating. Some people may not actually like anyone talking about the officiating.
Oh, it's horrible, dude. It's horrible. And it's in every game. It ain't just in my team's games. You turn the game on to watch it, and you're like, man, that was horrible. that was a bad call.
Some people have
this new pass interference challenge they can do. Ooh.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. But yeah, that's about all that we can.
That's about all we can say. Well, no, we will go ahead and jump into our picks for week 3. We'll run through them real quick here for you. I know we're running a little late on you here, but Thursday night we got Tennessee at Jacksonville. I'm going to pick Tennessee to bounce back on that one.
Yeah, especially with Jalen Ramsey trade rumors.
Yeah, so there's a little turmoil in there in Jacksonville. We'll jump into Sunday. We got Cincinnati at Buffalo. Buffalo should win that. Buffalo's playing good ball right now.
Oh yeah.
Probably Buffalo by a touchdown. Miami is at Dallas. 21 point. That's a 21-point game, dude. That's a 21-point game, and the starters don't play in the fourth quarter. That's horrid.
Oh, Miami.
Thank you for the bye week. I mean, the Cowboys got 2 bye weeks. They got this week, and then they got one later. Now watching Miami come out here and pull out the upset of the year. Now that I'm making fun of them, I will feel so sad if they do that. I'm sorry. We got Denver at Green Bay.
Green Bay will win.
Green Bay's going to look good on that one. Yeah, probably by touchdown. Baltimore at Kansas City. Ooh, that's going to be a good game.
That's the big game of the week.
Yeah, Baltimore did struggle a little bit game 2, though, so it's going to make me pick Kansas City, especially since it's in Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City will win that game.
Yeah, Kansas City
especially since it's in Arrowhead.
Yeah. Now this one's going to be a bad one, a hard one for you. Carolina is at Arizona. If Cam plays, I pick Carolina.
But if he has trouble,
throughout the game, I'm still going. I'm going to pick Arizona's favored by 2.5. So I guess you call that an upset. I think Carolina wins it. I just don't think I can't see them losing to Arizona, but I could be wrong. We got the Giants at Tampa Bay. My goodness, I'm going to pick Tampa Bay to win a game.
You're going to pick Tampa Bay to win?
Oh.
Yeah, that's reasonable with a rookie quarterback.
A rookie quarterback. Tampa Bay's got a decent defense too. So, at Houston at the Chargers.
That's a good game too.
That's a very good game too. The Chargers are actually favored by 3.5. So that means even at a neutral site,
they're favored by half a point.
By half a point. I'm gonna pick Houston on that. I want to pick another upset. I'm gonna pick Houston. I'm gonna pick Houston to win that one. Yeah. Houston didn't have a great game last week, but I believe they will. We got Pittsburgh at San Francisco. I'm gonna pick San Francisco over Pittsburgh. What? What? What is this? 1992? I'm going to pick Pittsburgh to lose to San Francisco.
San Francisco looks like to be on a bit of a roll here with their offense.
And Pittsburgh is in turmoil right now. They've lost all 3 of their best players. Think about it. The best running back's gone. Le'Veon Bell, best wide receiver's gone.
Ben Roethlisberger out with an injury.
The quarterback's out. I mean, who's left on the team? Connor, the running back.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju struggled this year to get open. Maybe they've been struggling. Honestly, I don't really like Pittsburgh's offensive scheme. But we'll just get on. But we'll get on back out of that. We got New Orleans at Seattle.
That's going to be a tough game.
That's going to be a tough game. I'm actually going to again. I'm up against some upsets. Seattle's favored by 4. I'm going to pick New Orleans in that. I think they've got way too much talent, and Bridgewater's not a bad quarterback.
No, I feel like
they've got a week to get Bridgewater all the snaps. Oops, sorry for the technical difficulties there. We got
People-
cut off right in the middle.
Time
of
to work
that
off,
stuff. I'm trying to
the
work
wrench.
off the rest. Yeah, but anyways, we're going to pick New Orleans to upset Seattle because I think Teddy Bridgewater can do it. And another great game. We got the Rams at Cleveland.
Oh yeah, but I think the Rams.
I think the Rams are going to win that one. Atlanta at Indy.
I think I'm gonna pick the Falcons.
Yeah,
That's
Indy's favored by 1.5, but that means that Atlanta is favored by 1.5 out of neutral site. So I'll probably go with Atlanta too. Oakland at Minnesota. Minnesota's defense should
Is
win
strong,
that game.
yeah.
Strong game. And I would
but Kirk Cousins doesn't play well against good competition.
no. We'll see. We got the Jets at New England. Poor Jets. New England's going to win that
yeah.
That'll be probably a 3-touchdown game. Detroit at Philly. I got Philly by a touchdown in that one. I don't think they lose.
Yeah, Detroit. Well, I think
Yeah.
they're the embodiment of mediocrity.
And then Monday Night Football, Chicago at Washington. Chicago should win that one, I would think. I would think Chicago could win that one. But that's it. That's all our picks for Week 3. We thank you for tuning in here. We got some more stuff coming up. We'll do a little college football pick. Be sure and leave us a comment down below what you think. Sorry for the technical difficulty, but we'll get it all together. Blurp here. But be sure and leave us a comment, leave us a like, do a subscribe.
Hit the groovy baby button.
Share us with your friends.
Spread the love.
And hit the groovy baby button. All right, we're out of here.
See you next week.